really interesting in the past 12 hours is when he was facing a challenge potentially back in February when Anas Sarwar, the Scottish Labour leader, called on him to resign. You had all of the cabinet coming out to back Keir Starmer, and what you've had now is just tumbleweed because everyone's weighing up what to do, and the Prime Minister's having to weigh up what to do, and it's very uncertain, Sophie, what's going to happen, whether he will, as he keeps saying, fight on, whether he will decide that it's sensible to set out a timetable. It's really unclear, or whether someone just goes over the top and tries to trigger a leadership race.
Like you say, it's very, very feels chaotic, honestly. I think I was so struck by the Darren Jones interview because I was expecting him to come out there and to give the line that we've heard numerous times over the next few days, that the Prime Minister's up for the challenge, and then it was such a change in tone.
But I don't think that the Prime Minister, Peter Khan and Liz Kendall, sorry to interrupt myself. Peter Khan, the business secretary, and Liz Kendall coming up. Now, Liz Kendall's consistently sort of on the progressive wing, the more right, centre-right of the party. That is where Wes Streeting sits. Peter Khan's Wes Streeting's best friend. But they have been pretty publicly loyal. Are you backing Keir Starmer? Peter, are you backing Keir Starmer or Wes Streeting? Liz, are you backing Keir Starmer?
That he spent the weekend seeing as everywhere final with West Streeting. So
I know, I saw that. Nothing to see here, Sophie. But look, in all seriousness, so I mean, this is the question about what happens now, because there are so many different ways that this can rumble out. First, it might be that the Prime Minister says, I'm not going to resign. And then we've got to see is will some cabinet ministers begin to resign. Last night, some ministers that want Keir Starmer gone told me that if cabinet ministers don't do it, then they will start resigning. And the reason I'm saying there's so many different mutations of how this could go in the coming hours. But I think what's clear is that if Keir Starmer does not go on his own terms, then there will be a move to force him out, and there could be more resignations. I guess the question is whether he can corral enough of the cabinet to back him, but it feels pretty much like it's unstoppable. That's what a lot of senior people in the party are saying to me. The fact that Darren Jones, you were saying he wasn't just, he's going to fight on what he said less than 24 hours ago, Keir Starmer at the podium, it's because he can't. Because he doesn't want to do that, because all it does is it winds up the party even more.
thank you for bringing that back. I'm interested to get your take. It's this division between people who want something now, as West Streeting, and the Burnham division who want to delay. Just to bring you just to flavour of this, John McDonnell, who's not sure on the line from the Electoral Party, he tweeted this morning to say that call for time for serious discussion, no participants coup. Instead, West Streeting has launched the coup for a fear of a democratic process, and while candidates are blocked, handing their leadership to Hamilton the Poppy Day is a big to reform. But I guess that is the kind of Andy Burnham camp line.
We were on the telly on Friday, and we had John McDonnell on, and then we had Dawn Butler, and we had a number of people from the soft left. Lou Hay came out and said publicly that they wanted the Prime Minister to set out a timetable. And they were people that want to basically try to get Andy Burnham back, and they want to begin a change of leadership. Now, Keir Starmer's allies would say, as soon as you say you're going, you're done. Like, no Prime Minister does that. But what's happened, and this is the anger that you're picking up in some of those messages, is that there's a massive group of the party that are furious now because they see this move against Starmer as orchestrated by West Streeting allies. They want to wait for Andy Burnham to get back into Westminster to give him a shot at the leadership. West Streeting knows if he goes up against Andy Burnham.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing?
This morning is that they want a timetable to elect a new leader. The party conference was in the final week of September the 26th, that week. And that would, they say, give Andy Burnham more time. I was told over the weekend that there is an MP to stand down to allow Burnham back, but it's ferociously complex. Like by-election, a Greater Manchester mayor election, you've got to do all of that. You've got to do all of that to get him back into Parliament, which is no guarantee to then run his race. But one final in despair at what was going on. And I'm trying to find my quote as I feel. And they said, well, no, this is what they said. I think the Labour Party is about to put itself out of power for a serious period of time by repeating mistakes of the Tories. And that is quite a widely held view in the party. There are a lot of MPs with their heads in their hands going, don't do this, this is nuts.
Because often with these things, and look, me and you stood here before, right? Because there's been quite a lot in recent years. I think the average sort of term for the last few prime ministers has been 2 years. But this feels slightly different because as Beth said, there is a split, and Beth can get some water. So, it's crazy, it's a nightmare, to be honest, here. But it feels slightly different because there is a genuine split. It feels like, there are people who are absolutely head in their hands and bearing, saying, what on earth is going on? How do we allow ourselves to be in this situation? So I think it's pretty clear.
Hello. Oh, it's a bit fucking dark. Do we do?
The Labour Party and other contestant parties be going through the doors at number 10 early this morning.
What I guess also is she also does not want to. The speech yesterday with Lucy Powell, the deputy leader, she does not want this to happen. She will be full behind Keir when you've got 76 MPs calling for your resignation.
I think lack of clarity. We've got the lawyers going in. Why are they going in? Are they going in because Keir Starmer is trying to hold them together for fight? Are they going in because he wants to level? We do not know, but that is going to become increasingly clear in the next you need people more than everyone. You were at that speech yesterday, which was supposed to be the make or break speech, the fight back speech. It's hard to
Hello. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll do the same for you. Like and subscribe. Hello, everybody. Where'd they lose them?
He admitted 3 years later in an interview, he actually admitted it with his unofficial biographer in an article, and I asked him on camera, he said, yes, I considered resigning because I didn't want to be bigger than the party. I was holding the party back. I didn't want to do that. I wanted the Labour government. And yet, he's in this position where they've lost 1,500 council seats, 40 councils, the control of Wales. Every time you say, have you not even thought that maybe you're the problem? He is unbelievably resolute. And I think trying to get him to because he won that election. He thinks he's out the mandate. He won the election. He was the head of the party. He won the majority. And I think he feels like he's not being given enough time to deliver actually this change message with the situation the country was in, some of the loads of mistakes they've made that he would freely admit to, that he hasn't been given enough time to turn it around. But what you're seeing here is a party panicking because they've looked at these results, they've looked at reform, they've decided that Keir Starmer has lost the country and lost the voters, and that when you lose them, when they're not listening anymore, when they're ignoring you, when they won't give you a hearing, that is not a leader that they can be successful for at a general election. And a number of them are saying now it's time to go. But Keir Starmer has said the whole way through he will fight on, and my instinct is that it's going to take quite a lot to get him out of there. All prime ministers that we've ever covered, they hang on until they really cannot hang on anymore. Drag it out, yeah. So it might be really messy. Or he might have a moment where he says, I'm going to put the party or the country. But his argument would be as well that this will put the country into chaos, that we've got the Iran crisis, and that it will put the country into chaos. So he's curious where me and Becky are going to hang a lot because this is a fast moving and fluid situation. And we're going to talk now to the Conservatives. We can speak to Mrs. Holden, the party chair. And firstly, I just want to say, Shelley, cancel lecture, apologies. Just
me jump away from you. Apologies, it's a very fluid morning. What is your take? Many people this morning will be like, we don't want to go back to the care, we want to let this go.
I think we're in a situation now where the Prime Minister has clearly lost the confidence of his own party. We're seeing huge numbers of Labour MPs publicly calling for him to go. We're seeing the Cabinet is voted on overnight, and many members of that saying that the Prime Minister should go as well. I think we're because direction from the Prime Minister, and that's really down to him not driving in the right way. That's why we as Conservatives have managed to force 20 U-turns in the House of Commons on everything from grooming gangs, which Kenny really hammered him on at Prime Minister's questions a few months ago, to the winter fuel payments. Kenny's response to the budget really showed up those big issues facing high streets up and down the country, from places like Brussels and Baruki, my own constituency, where we're seeing youth unemployment now caused to rise because of that tax that has been pushed by the Labour Party in government. So this is about the decisions that are being taken, the decisions and that direction of travel from the government. And it's being brought home as well by those decisions like the appointment of Peter Mandelson. And it's only by actions by the Conservatives in Parliament, such as pulling that humble address to get that information out there, that we're really seeing actually the terrible decision making and the processes within Number 10 under this Prime Minister and under this Labour government. So I don't take any, I'm not dancing up and down about this situation. What I do see, though, is that the country needs stability, and actually it's more unstable if the Prime Minister stays than if he goes now, because it's quite clear he's pushed around by his own party, and there is no direction from him at all, and no leadership from the top.
Thank you for coming on. We're going to jump away. Here's Steve. You said yesterday that PM would stay. Is it over for him? Steve Reid, is it over for Keir Starmer? Well, as Steve Reid walking in there, PM loyalist, we have got our first resignation from would you like the Prime Minister to fight on? Is it over for Keir Starmer, star? Another family fighting him to resign, and we have got our first ministerial resignation. Nianta. Not to resign. Goodness, get that right. Too loyal. Come out and have a go at you. So that's a very important on their conversation. There's too much news coming in.
Where is the news tsunami? Well, I was just saying, wasn't I, that the pressure could continue to build, and if Starmer doesn't decide to go, will ministers start resigning? And just ahead of Cabinet, we've got our first ministerial resignation. Niata Fambale, she was the Undersecretary, that Ministry of Housing. She has quit. I've got her letter, I'm reading it blind. She says that she was proud to work in the government. She says, whilst progress has been made, we've not acted with the vision, pace, ambition that our mandate to change demands, nor have we governed as a Labour Party clear about our values. Mistakes like the winter fuel payments, cuts to support providing disabled people left too many of my constituents doubting are missing. And she says, you, Prime Minister, have lost the trust and confidence of the public. She says, I urge you to do the right thing and set a timetable for an orderly transition so a new team can deliver the change.
Interestingly, Nianta Fambale liked the Angela Rayner post on X, which I think perhaps gives you a bit of a sense of her.
She's on the left of the party. But I think what's happening on the soft left is really fascinating, because Angela Rayner, I think it's really clear that I don't think that she would want to give. Here is Ben. Good morning. The Labour Party lost its mind, sir. We've got Jenny. Is that Jenny?
It is one of those, I mean, look, you hear the war of noise, and what is going on in that street now. It is a extraordinary.
Going back to the issue on soft left, there is a view, the idea that they would let West Streeting stand uncontested, that they just will not want that to happen. And then there's the question about, would Angela Rayner step forward in order sure that West Street did not have a free run at this. But really, the soft left seems to have coalesced over the past couple of weeks around Andy Burnham, which was why, ahead of the local election, there was a sense, when Lucy Powell, the deputy Labour leader, who's a big Burnham backer, came out and said, don't be hasty, don't try and unseat the Prime Minister, who's the right man for the job at the time.
Like and subscribe, everybody. Many thanks. Like and subscribe.
Until they could get Burnham back in, and then the calls were get Burnham back. But equally, what happened on the Sunday, started coming out saying you should also resign, and that has kind of unplugged this sort of beginning now. Well, it started a drip, and now it's steady stream, and now it's beginning to be quite a flow of resignations now going up the chain.
Even see a kind of caretaker leader, like kind of Ed Miliband figure, leading figure, to find the dot.
That is, West Street, are you going to challenge the Prime Minister? West Street, are you challenging the Labour leadership, sir? What are you going to say to Keir Starmer?
Any of his thoughts, absolutely laser focused, trying to give absolutely nothing away.
He looked very stern there, didn't he?
It looked like a person trying to control his face, to not give a hint of a smile or of anything, I think.
Yeah.
And we're going to replay that to you just as we can, because Word 3, the man who is on the screen now, is right at the top of it.
You know better in the Commons! You want the case of the
Right there.
About how much this has all been orchestrated by Team Fruitfit, who, as you've been saying all morning about, it's in his interest
Morning.
to have a quick contest for him.
Yeah, there's questions about whether or not it's been orchestrated. Look, from reading between the lines, and this is partial, I haven't spoken to all MPs. I think over the weekend, John Healey's now coming up, who has... John Healey, did you ask the Prime Minister to consider his position, sir? Sir, do you think Keir Starmer should stay on, sir? Mr. Healey, are you going to support Keir Starmer? John Healey, as I understand it, went to see the Prime Minister yesterday. As I understand it, he did not explicitly call on Keir Starmer to set that timetable, someone else coming in. Ed Miliband, is it time for Keir Starmer to stand down? Are you going to tell him to go, sir? Are you going to tell him to go? John Healey, so the reason we do this is, they might respond. Anyway, we probably look nuts doing this, but we probably do it nuts, but you've got to ask. And actually, you can say something, these people are listening very, very sternly. Yeah, they are on this stuff. And look, John Healey, as I understand it, and we'll come to Ed Miliband in a moment, he went in, as I understand it, he did not explicitly say set out a timetable, but he said you might want to have a think about, in the interest of the country and the party, what you want to do next. Ed Miliband, as I understand it, has already privately said to Keir Starmer, I think you need to consider a timetable for departure. But Ed Miliband is sort of Keir Starmer's oldest political friend, because they live near each other in North London. Ed Miliband helped Keir Starmer get his seat as an MP. So they go back a long way, and they've always been considered close friends, as actually has the Prime Minister with David Lammy, who's also, despite being a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and Keir Starmer's obviously into Arsenal, but they also live near each other in North London. But Ed Miliband has told him to set out a timetable very privately, and I think what's going to be fascinating in that cabinet room is to see whether when Susan says anything